Hello, YouTube. Haven't done a video for a while, so I thought now's the time to do an update video. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Good to see you. As you can see here with my pile of prototypes, that's what we're going to be talking about today. What is the status of these prototypes? What is going on? So this video, I'm going to kind of explain to you what I've been doing, what prototypes I have out there. I did some videos on some of them already, but I'd like to kind of explain what's going on. Now, keep in mind, when I do a video on a prototype idea, 90% of the time when I get done shooting that video, and by the time I actually post it, I've redid that board 3 times already because I come up with this idea that I got to add to it. So that would kind of delays the production and the release of an interface board. Now, the interface boards that I'm talking about at the time of making this video, I got 3 of them on the works that I've been doing. The weather alert board, the repeater ID board, and take any two-way mobile radios and turn them into repeaters. So those are the 3 interface boards that I've been working on. Now, I don't do a lot of videos on them. I do them as I build them. You can hear them work. You can see them work. But I don't do a lot of videos on that. Now, the weather alert is, here's a good example. The weather alert board, and I'll explain what that is here in a minute. I decided to add battery backup circuitry to it. So, okay, well, there you go. You know, I had to change it. Now, the weather alert board is a board that you hook up to a weather radio. It does not use internet. It uses the weather radio for the announcement. And it will go on any repeater. And how that works is that my interface board would hook up to a handheld. As long as you can program that handheld to that repeater frequency and you're within range of that repeater, I can get any weather alerts to come over that repeater. Not weather announcements. There's a difference between a weather announcement and a weather alert. A weather alert is what you hear, that blaring god-awful tone you hear on your weather alert radio. That's a alert, not an announcement. So that board's been working great. For those of you who are familiar with the weather radio, you know that they do weekly tests. I've been taking advantage of that weekly test, and it's been testing my board. So every Wednesday where I live, at between 11 and 11:30, I get a weekly test over my repeater, because they're testing the weather alert radio, and it's been working great. Well, I decided I want to try to add some more features to this board. So one of them is the battery backup. So that's usually what happens when I do these type of projects. I decide to add a feature. Another one is the repeater ID board. Now, I did a video about that a few weeks ago. It will let you get any repeater ID over any repeater as long as that handheld can be programmed to that repeater frequency and you're within range of that repeater. I want to add some more features to it. So, of course, here we go. I'm building a prototype. Now, here's the thing, too, I want to mention. Sometimes I can cheat, like in this prototype here. I added a daughter board. Now, the final product ain't going to have a daughter board. But in this particular one, I didn't want to rebuild the whole prototype circuit, so I added a daughter board with wires to it and whatnot because I didn't have enough room. So I try to do that because I really don't want to rebuild a prototype. Now, for those of you who are new to what this is, a prototype is when every little connection is soldered by me by hand. Okay? And a prototype is what you do after you have a schematic. You want to put your idea from paper to a working board is when you do it. Matter of fact, this is the prototype for the Bridgecom interface board. So that's how that is. Sometimes I cannot do a daughter board. So that means I have to rebuild the board. So depending on what idea I come up with, sometimes that happens. So like I said, be kind of patient with me. I am working, here's the repeater ID. Here's the repeater ID board right here, prototype, one of them. I got 3 of those. They're around here somewhere, the other 2 are. At any rate, the point being is sometimes I have to rebuild the whole prototype just because I just can't do a daughter board. And sometimes I can't do a daughter board because I don't like running long wires, because that picks up noise and interference, and that can throw me off. As you can see here, this wire here, and there's long wires. I don't like doing that. But sometimes I can get away with it. So nevertheless, that's what kind of happens. I get a prototype working, and then a week later, oh, let's add this to it. And it kind of delays things, and I apologize for that. But be patient. I am still working on it. Matter of fact, I'm going to post in the description below my store address where you can purchase some of the boards I have available. The Bridgecom interface board. I have the Retevis Midland interface board and whatnot. Those boards you can purchase now. Like I said, I'll post that in the description below. I'm also at my store. You can sign up to get notified when these boards become available. So you'll get an email notification when I finally get the board done. And what I mean by done is I have the circuit boards here, I have the parts here, I'm ready to build them. So you can get notified when that time becomes available. Now another board that I did a video on is the repeater ID board. Again, that's going to be to get any repeater to ID itself. It would use a handheld. As long as you can program that handheld to that repeater frequency, I can get any repeater to ID itself. I came up with some more ideas. And that board too, I'll probably add a battery backup on that one too, like I did the weather alert. So we'll add a battery backup to that. But nevertheless, I keep coming up with ideas, which is kind of a blessing, kind of a curse, I guess, so to speak, when I do that. So, and another board, matter of fact, that I haven't done many videos on, is a turn any two mobile radios into repeaters. I got some ideas on that one. I want to try to make it even better. So just be patient with me. I know some people out there get antsy and they're like, well, I'm losing interest. Well, I apologize for that, but I want to give you the best possible product. And sometimes it's always worth the extra wait. Because I don't want to release a board and then I come up with an idea. Oh yeah, hey, this is a cool idea. So now we got version 2 available. Well, I try not to do that. So just be patient with me, and just if you have any questions, you can email me directly. I can give you statuses on some of these boards if you're wondering. Or you can post a comment down below. I'll tell you where we're at. And but I can say at this moment so far, the weather alert board is working great. I get the weekly test over my repeater. It's working exactly like it's supposed to. But there's another function I want to add, of course. So we're working on that and these other boards. So I try to fit all this in, but there's only so much time in a day. And then you have normal life stuff that come into play too. And then there have been storms that we've had here a few weeks ago. My antenna got damaged. So I'm trying to get that all patched up and done and whatnot. So I've been kind of working on that. It's just one thing after another. But don't worry, I'm still working on the boards. And that's why I thought I'd better do an update. So there you have the update. Any questions or comments, please post them down below. Please subscribe. Thank you and have a good day.